Doesn't
Okay, so GTA Grand Theft Auto. No, not the criminal activity, the game. A lot of us have been playing and familiar with the Grand Theft Auto GTA series since we were young. But if you can believe it, they're only on the technically at this present day's time, the fifth edition. But GTA 6 is alleged to come out in this super near future. Rockstar is trying to make it the biggest game ever, and which is literally going to be like virtual reality. You're in the game doing whatever your heart can imagine. But as you know, or may not know, GTA is synonymous with being a very mature game with every adult theme under the sun, violence, drugs, sexual, explicit content. So, this day and age where people are trying to, do whatever they can to use technology to curb kids getting access to certain things, Rockstar says GTA possibly may be implementing a way to do that. Let's see what they have to say.
look like kids are going to be able to play Grand Theft Auto 6. So the ESRB, the company behind putting a rating on each video game, now plans to use facial recognition for age verification. So essentially what this system would do is it would require parents to upload a selfie to determine if they are of age, allowing them to unlock the game. And apparently this facial recognition software is used to estimate facial age rather than pinpoint exact details. I remember way back in the day having to drag my mom or dad to GameStop with me, hoping that they would just buy me the latest Grand Theft Auto and that the sales clerk wouldn't convince them that this is a bad idea. So since we know GTA 6 is going to be rated M, mature 17 plus, I know there's a handful of people that aren't 17 years old that are going to be wanting to play this game. So when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, are there going to be fewer kids playing the game? What do you think of this? Let me know in those comments down below.
Nice. I said, let them know in the comments. We're going to be on it now. Anyway, so like gentleman said, this is something that they're possibly will be trying to implement. Now, I can already understand the criticism that may or may not come from hearing this, but let's discuss. We're not a video game podcast, and honestly, I kind of want to say this for one day when I have that, but that's obviously something we could revisit. Thoughts? What do y'all think of this prevention method? You think it makes sense? Do you think it wouldn't work? Do you think it's too invasive? I'm interested to know what y'all comments and thoughts are on this. We'll start with you, Ace. What do you think?
Oh man, this is funny. I like in general, I like the idea. Um, I like the idea. Like the companies, I feel like companies come under fire for a lot of things, for a lot of different reasons, and to implement, to try to actually implement a way for their their the ESRB rating to be enforced. I think
Yeah.
it makes sense. And like in terms of a privacy thing, I'm not somebody that stresses over that a lot because I feel like if if you as somebody who has decided to just basically accept the technology that we're using, like I have a PS4, I have a laptop, I have a cell
You want to be admitting that first part?
Yo, I was thinking it, to be honest.
That's not funny. I don't care. But yeah, as somebody who has all this technology, like I just have fully become resigned to the fact that it can be used to invade my privacy, and if I'm gonna use the technology, I just have to accept it. Like I know, for example, that our cell phones listen to what we say, and um, advertisements to that cater to some of the things we talk about
Yeah.
are shown to us based off of that. Like it's wild, but I know it's true, and I'm not gonna get rid of my cell phone. I've just accepted it. Same thing. I mean, not same thing with the cameras. I don't know for certain cameras are always on and seeing what our environments are, what facial expressions are, looking at any of that. I
Don't
don't
get too
know if
conspiracy
any of
theory
that's
on this.
happening. Yeah, I don't know, but at the same time, I just have resigned myself to not caring because I'm going to use the technology pretty much regardless. I can't. It's not something that I'm so worried about that it's gonna cause me to stop using technology. So again, like for something like this, they want to use the facial recognition. You have two choices. Like you either accept it or you don't buy, which it's a it's a um it's a decision that they made that is probably gonna affect their sales, but probably not heavily. Like I think people are gonna get over it and probably find ways around it. I do think there could be backlash, like maybe the technology really isn't quite there yet, and there's gonna be adults that try to play the game and they can't play the game.
Dang, if you had a baby face.
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be issues with it, which I think it's pretty funny that they're trying to do it at this state. I don't think AI, or maybe it's not even AI. It's just whatever the facial recognition technology is. I highly doubt that it's quite there yet. It'd probably be some issue with black people, like it doesn't recognize black
Oh
people, like 'cause that's
Lord.
always a thing too.
The facial recognition is racist too?
Yep.
Dang.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, overall, like I'm not mad at the decision, but I'm sure there's gonna be we're not gonna hear. This isn't the end that we're this story. I don't think.
So quick question. You're saying that, for yourself, you're not so opposed to the usefulness of technologies that you're willing to, go out of your way to like do preventative methods so to make sure you have 100% pure privacy. But as the
Mhm.
video said, like the way in which it could work is like, if you're a parent buying your child a game, you pretty much have to set it up. So if you're buying your child a game, are you gonna sit them in front of the facial recognition machine and let it scan your child's face? Is that what you're saying?
I the way I understood it was that you would
You can play it one more time just for the listeners at home.
yeah. I mean, I'll just explain it and then play it again. But I just assume, I mean, not assume, I interpret it as that you would have to set it up for your face. And then if the child tries to play it, it would scan their face and determine if they're, they're you or not. Which, I mean, the kid shouldn't be playing it. So if it scans their face because they tried to get on it, I don't really think I have an
That
issue
actually
with it.
does make a bit of sense. Maybe I'm wrong. So
Yeah, but we'll play
It
it.
doesn't look like kids are going to be able to play Grand Theft Auto 6. So the ESRB, the company behind putting a rating on each video game, now plans to use facial recognition for age verification. So essentially what this system would do is it would require parents to upload a selfie to determine if they are of age, allowing them to unlock the game. And apparently this facial recognition software is used.
Yeah, was that it?
yeah, that was the part. So yeah, it does tend to sound more along what you were saying. The fact that it starts with the parents' facial recognition, and that would unlock the ability to play the game or not.
That is funny though, because actually it's a selfie. So it probably like prompts you to upload the selfie, and then once you do it, you can and it makes the determination you can play it,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
means that
Certain
you
social media and dating websites have that too. So that really isn't really gonna stop too many people.
yeah, exactly. Plus the kid's gonna get the selfie, their parent's selfie, and then upload that. So yeah,
Dang,
it's not really gonna
we might
work.
have we might have
Yeah.
cracked code already. But I guess that being said, real quick, Ghost, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think it makes sense? It wouldn't work the way we understand it right now. It could be more complex, or do you think it's too invasive or anything like that?
I mean, the concept I think is good. I've been saying like kids should not be playing GTA, and I'm not even one that's like uptight about that type of stuff. This game of all games is crazy, just crazy. But like y'all were discussing, I think there's a million ways that this is gonna backfire, and yeah, I don't I don't trust the system to work if it does work, I mean, I don't know. Kudos to them for trying something out of the box, but I just it feels kind of weird. Like there's different ways you can go about it, and honestly, if I mean, it's really not like parents going to video game stores like GameStop and buying games in person anymore. But if a parent before isn't aware that they're buying their kid this type of game, how are they going to be aware now when the kid is just going to say, "Oh, can you upload your selfie for this?" Blah blah blah, and they'll just do it without really paying attention. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I
Yeah,
don't see this making much of a difference.
I think a parent would raise a question about that.
I mean,
Like, maybe you're right because I
but
didn't
why
play
would they
myself.
let him buy the game in the first place then?
Well, none of us have kids, but the way I understand it, it's very easy for the kid to be like on like the download screen, and then the parent just comes in and punches in their credit card information and goes about their business, which is similar to like back in the day when you're at
Yep.
the game store. Your parents is like off somewhere just chilling or talking, and then you hand them the game, and they bring it to the store and they bring it up to the cash register, and as long as the cash register is not a like a D head, they're gonna say, oh, yeah, cash it, bring it out, and go about your business. I think adding this level of a facial recognition, apologies. I think a parent would like raise an eyebrow, like, what? What do they want me to do?
True. Yeah, that's true. I mean, if I was a kid, I would lie and say, "Oh, it's a new security measure for the credit card," but they might have prompts of, I don't know. Yeah,
Nah,
I think you might be right
nah,
there.
you're right. I think kids are absolutely smart enough to like, yeah, dude, you don't worry about it. Their parents to hurry up and do it. Like I said, I think my initial thoughts. I think there are a lot of ways for a young kid to get around it. I think you guys brought up some ideas, but yeah, I mean, not too much. I just want to know what y'all general thoughts on this. I'm kind of surprised that you guys are generally against kids playing games like GTA when aren't
Well,
y'all
I,
both y'all products of playing games that are way more mature for your till the time you guys were playing them?
I never played anything on the level of GTA. I mean, again, I don't care about violence generally in video games like games, PS. I don't care about it generally, but GTA is it's another level, bro. Like
So the kid can play Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, tactical, shoot the guy from across the planet and watch his brains go in the back of his head, but he can't play
no,
GTA.
it's different. It's different when you can go to strip clubs. You can just shoot random civilians and run them over just for fun. It's different, bro. Like GTA is a whole nother level of that. Again, I'm not one for the argument that video games make kids violent and all that. I've never been, but if there was one video game I would make the argument for, it would be GTA
Mhm.
because
Hmm.
like it's just I don't know. I don't really have a great way of explaining it, but it's
No, you're good. I'm just messing. And again, it's not a video game podcast. I'm pretty sure one day we can have a more in depth conversation about that. And obviously, I think a lot of people would agree when it comes to the most like explicit type of game that is created. I think GTA does rank high on that. Although I mean, even back in the day, they considered like that first Mortal Kombat game like the most heinous thing under the sun. So times do reflect what we consider too mature.
Appropriate for children.
But if nothing else, we can move on to the next topic.